we have the distinction of creating the database or the decision support system called Bangalore Lake Information System, which is available to everybody, whoever access, whether from US or from Ethiopia or from Delhi or from Bangalore. This is a popular thing which I launched about a year back. We have the distinction of monitoring all lakes in Bangalore. You know, the city of Bangalore, when Colonel Shankar was a student in this college, had a green cover of 68%. And when I came here, it was about 50% or so. And today, the Bangalore has a green cover less than 4%. You know, the absence of water urbanism in our planning is quite evident by the way we have loaded Bangalore. You know, the city landscape has become porous. You know, there is no groundwater recharge happens in the system. But Bangalore depends on groundwater to an extent of 45%. You know, the last year we faced a severe water crisis. That is mainly because of two reasons. Due to changes in climate, there was erratic rainfall in Kaveri Basin and we didn't get the rain, and because of that there is no water, much water from Kaveri. Coupled with that, over-exploitation of the groundwater happened. You know, that's where we face the problem. You might ask, what is the link between the groundwater and the lakes? My study shows when lakes were there, people were having water in their wells at less than 100 feet. When the lake was removed, the depth went down to the 600 feet in 5 years. And today, after 24 years, we have gone deeper, 1900 feet, and there's no water. You know, the city is facing severe water crisis and oxygen deficiency. That's where in one of my articles I said it's a dead city. My job is not to just criticize, to give the solution. That's where I thought I should tell the administrators what needs to be done. We developed the Bangalore Urban Information System, which is again available online. You can see how Bangalore landscape is transitioning from green to red over the last 5 decades. Now, that is quite worrying. I spent some time in heaven also. You will be surprised to know that, because I work in Western Ghats. You know, when COVID was happening, dead bodies were piling up in Bangalore. I was happily moving around in Western Ghats without any COVID problem. Because the food that we take in Western Ghats gives the immunity. You know, when your food plate is diverse, you are very healthy. Today when I look at Colonel Shankar and his colleagues and his classmates and all, 80 plus, they are all having healthy food. They continue to have healthy food, even my generation continue to have, but current generation is missing that. You know, not only the missing that, this population of Swiggy and Zomato is creating the mess of, you know, the waste accumulation in the system. To get a dosa of one dosa, the hotel is next door, but they still press the button and order. Along with the dosa, it comes a cancer also. The plastic. That is what we need to understand, and we need to. This is, and I started my career after my graduation at Indian Institute of Science. You know, when I was working in energy sector, I was traveling in villages regarding the renewable energy, especially the microhydro. That is where I understood the linkage between the water and energy nexus and society. Then there was a demand from the people also that my research should benefit the society. You know, that's where we identified the sites where microhydro sites can be developed. In fact, I also worked on solar energy. We developed the renewable, integrated energy planning system, the decision support system. All these things, at the end of the day, when you look at, there is a satisfaction. One of the model which is quite popular in Bangalore is the wastewater treatment. When I did first study in Jatkur Lake and surrounding, there were 25 wells were there. This is in 2005. I published that research also. When I saw the water quality, it had nitrate. Nitrate in the water is a serious matter. Nitrate is a carcinogen which introduces cancer. That is the time I pressurized the government of Karnataka to rejuvenate the lake. When you complain, you are also given the responsibility. When the government took up the rejuvenation, the committee was constituted. I was a member of the committee, but not much money was given. But that gave an opportunity to give a environmentally sound, economical model based on the nature-based solution. So, I integrated constructed wetland and algal pond with a secondary treatment plant. Secondary treatment plant removed the chemical ion, while the algal pond and the constructed wetland removes the nutrient. Last 12 years, my students have monitored this. And when you look at this, today there are 300 wells surrounding the Jatkur Lake. When you look at the water quality of these wells, there is no nitrate. At least I have a satisfaction of giving a clean water to the 300 well users in the Jatkur Lake area. That is what gives me the satisfaction. When the science reaches the society and benefit the society, the purpose of science is met. As you all know, I am from Indian Institute of Science. I am, of course, alumni of BMSCE also. And when IISC came to the Bangalore, there is a history. The Maharaja of Mysore in a MOU has clearly said that IISC should do the science which benefit the society. And I have the satisfaction that my generation, we have done it for the country, for the globe, as well as for the city. That is the satisfaction. For all this is possible. Why? Because of the foundation. I remember my school teachers and also my college degree teachers. Wonderful teachers I had. R. Parsarthi, HN, SRK, NNS, Ramakrishna, Nassim Murthy, the whole range of people, wonderful. Even NNS used to tell, anytime you have doubt, you come to my house. A couple of us used to go to his house and to chat with him. So that was the kind of the faculty we had, and such faculty had transformed this young boy of Bangalore into the person who is one among the top 2% in the globe. The credit goes to the faculty of this institute, and credit goes to my teachers from the schools and colleges. That is where the thing. When you look at Western Ghats, Western Ghats is an ecologically sensitive and a fragile region. And this ecologically sensitive and fragile region has to be conserved at any cost if you want to sustain water for your children. The Western Ghats, if you look at the diversity of life on the earth, when I say diversity, it's a variety of plants and animals. Latitudinally, when you map it, at 8 to 14 degree or 16 degree latitude, you have the highest varieties of plants and animals. And that corresponds to Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Goa part of Western Ghats. That means some of us have inherited such a rich diversity, and it is the responsibility on our shoulder to give it to our children so that they enjoy the benefit of diverse food, and because of that they'll also be healthy with the immunity. In the name of development, we are degrading the ecosystem. The senseless developmental path opted by colonial mindset rulers of today has to come to an end if you want to see the clean air, water and environment for your children. That's where we started working on the Western Ghats for the last 3 decades. I have traveled in Kerala, Karnataka. In fact, last week I was in Maharashtra. People keep writing to me saying that can you spend some time with us and write a report and we will take it to the court, it will help us in the thing. That feeling makes me to travel all the way and give the scientific input to them. When you look at the Western Ghats, some part of the Western Ghats are very ecologically fragile. It has to be conserved. That is where Madhav Gadgil committee report and Kasturigan committee report, some of you might know, they map the regions which are ecologically sensitive. But none of the government wants to implement that. Then somebody goes to the court, the green bench, and the green bench of Supreme Court asked all the state government to give the list of the villages which are ecologically sensitive in the Western Ghats. None of the state government have come forward to give that. Since I work with the National Green Tribunal also in some of the committees, one of the expert members asked me, TVR, can you do something? I told him, I will do something so that the information of sensitive villages not just available to the Supreme Court Green Bench, I'll make it available to every citizen on the earth. That is where we develop the Western Ghat Spatial Decision Support System. You can choose your village if you are from Western Ghat. Find out what is the ecological sensitiveness of that. I will end my talk in another 2 minutes. One of the things I have brought out is the linkage of the vegetation cover and the water availability. If you are from rural area, you will understand my words. And I am sure all of you are from the rural area because we all migrated to the city as our parents came to the city in search of jobs, etc. My study shows the water body to have water 12 months, the watershed plays an important role. And watershed should have more than 60% green cover, that too of native species. Okay? When you convert that green cover of native species into monoculture plantation of rubber, acacia, etc., the water bodies will have water for 6 to 8 months. That means somebody, in the name of development, remove the forest and convert the rubber plantation, that person become developed man at the cost of loss of water for 4 to 5 months for the surrounding population, the villagers, etc. And when we degrade the forest with less than 30% cover, the water bodies become seasonal. Only during monsoon it will have the water. You might ask how it affects the villagers. The villages where water is available 12 months, farmers grow multiple crop or a cash crop. Their earning per year is 1,54,000 rupees per acre per year. Whereas in a villages where water is available for 4 to 6 months, they grow only one crop. Earning is 32,000 rupees per acre per year. Now you see, almost 3 times the income just because of the water. And another interesting thing that came out of my research is wherever the greenery is there of native species, the yield of the crop is at least twice. For example, paddy, it is as high as 14 to 18 quintal per acre, whereas in other villages, in a degraded landscape, it is 6 to 8 quintal per acre. Now the Prime Minister of the country wants to double the income of the farmers. My simple solution is just don't allow the mafias to remove the forest, so that we will have water, we will have pollinators. Pollinators will give us that's the job of pollination, we will have a higher yield. To end my talk, when Mother Earth is covered with a green saree of native species, she retains the water for 12 months. When we convert that green saree of native species into the synthetic saree of rubber or acacia or monoculture plantation, she retains the water only for 6 to 8 months. We should never degrade the landscape with the forest cover less than 30%. That's what is happening in Kolar, Chikballapur, all these places. When they don't have water, they look at my Western Ghat, they say that I will divert the water to this place. The great thing is Ethinhole. In 2010, they came up with Ethinhole diversion. Then local people asked me, Ethinhole region, Netravati, sir, can you do scientific analysis and tell us whether this is a feasible proportion. As per the government, as per the consultant, the water that is to be transferred is 24 TMC. When my students we analyzed, the yield in the catchment is only 12.85 TMC. And out of 12.85 TMC, 9 TMC is required for the local, for their agriculture, horticulture, livestock rearing, etc. Another 3 TMC is required for the ecological flow of fish, etc. Now when you deduct that, you are left with only 0.85 TMC. I wrote an article, where is 24 TMC? Another article I said, to divert 0.85 TMC, why do you want to spend 13,000? Do you think this is a sin? But can you imagine what happened to me? It's wonder, still I am on the earth. You know the work, what I have done for the ethanol other thing. 3 times I was attacked, physically abused. But still, because of my students and because of the science, we survive. We are stronger than any mafias. The science is the weapon which can talk against the mafia. That has to end in my country. Can happen only when everyone become educated and with the adequate knowledge. You know, environmentally literate citizens in the nation always benefits. You know, when a child is environmentally sensitive, that child becomes sensible. When that youth becomes sensible, he or she will become responsible citizen. When they become responsible, they are the asset of the nation. That's what my country required, and that's what we are looking for, and that's why I came here. In fact, I was traveling in Maharashtra when Ashwini madam spoke to me. She said, 3rd Saturday you should be in Bangalore. I said, I'll be there for my college. That's how I came here. And again, I am going back in another 2 days to my research because I spend more time in the field, in the Western Ghats, and with the society. That's where the society gets a benefit of science. I wish you all happy life, and thank you for listening to me. And my only urge is, if you can stop using plastic, that's a wonderful gift that you would be giving to me on this day of alumni meet. Please carry this message. Your family member getting cancer is not a good sign. Please take this message straight forward. And I have analyzed, when people get sambar and idli in a polythene cover, I have analyzed. And even the bottled water, I have analyzed. All of them have dioxin, BPA. These are all carcinogen. When people give me the plastic bottle when I go as a chief guest, what are they giving me? Please don't feel bad. That's how I communicate. My words are harsh, but message is strong for the strong India. I am looking forward for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your thoughts on environment, ecology, and the relationship human beings share with that. As sir was explaining about plastic and usage of plastic, sir, I am sure you'll be happy to know that our institution takes immense initiative during Kandakai Parshe, where our students go and create awareness. I'll come to that, sir. Create awareness about plastic usage. And this is the reason we invite people like you to learn from you of what we have to do and what we should not do. And I'm sure from any other event, further events, you won't get to see plastic bottles. That's the commitment we make. Thank you, sir. Thanks for enlightening us on this. And for your knowledge also that I'm sure many students were a part of this. Every year we have Kadle Kaparshe during the Kartik Masa. And students from our institution go in batches and create awareness amongst all the vendors not to use plastics. Not only that, they also share paper bags to them because many people say we can't pay for paper bags. Our students donate paper bags and create awareness. That's a small initiative we have taken, and of course we don't stop.